I feel like I've been on this journey my whole life because it started with my name, Talitha Cumi, which literally means little girl wake up. And I can't say it's been easy. There's been a lot of bumps and bruises along the way, but I believe life is all in your decision making. The I Am Talitha Cumi show is a combination of things that I love to talk about, and I want to enlighten you, encourage you, and inspire you to be the best you can be with some help from me and my guests. Let's talk about it.
What's poppin', buddy? See, I got the leftovers from Auntie. Let's go ahead and crack these damn leftovers and make it good. It's a rib slider.
And we are live here at the Botham Jean Foundation Gala event, you guys. Did you know that the real New Year is not on January 1st? It's on March 20th. So the real New Year's Eve is March 19th, with New Year's Day being March 20th. So you guys don't worry if you haven't kept up your New Year's resolutions, because you still have a little bit of time. So is there anything that I left?
No, other than my name is pronounced Georgia Nay.
Georgia, I was pronouncing that all wrong. Georgia Nay. My bad. I hate when people pronounce my name wrong too.
Happy Kuma. Hey, it's your girl Talitha Cumi, and I want to welcome you to the I Am Talitha Cumi show on the Food for the Soul Media Group Network. As always, thanks for tuning in, and remember, you can catch us here every Thursday night at 8 o'clock p.m. on our Food for the Soul YouTube station and our Food for the Soul Media Group FB page. And you guys, make sure to check out our re-air audio shows on Spotify, Google Podcasts, iHeart, and iHeartRadio. Sorry, I'm tongue-tied tonight. Shout out to Quan with Gorilla Cross Media on the ones and twos, keeping us looking and sounding right. And if you're tuned in right now, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you're tuned in on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button or like button on Facebook, wherever you are, and go to our Instagram and follow us at Food for the Soul Media Group. I am Talitha_Cumi, K, the number 2 unique, and at the real big Bobby B. My disclaimer, as always, these are my opinions, not facts, just our opinions, and some of the opinions of our guests are not always the opinions of the I Am Talitha Cumi show, Food for the Soul Media Group, or Gorilla Cross Media. And if you guys want to weigh in, leave us a comment in the chat room on our YouTube station or FB page.
And we are always looking for sponsors and donors to help keep our show a priority and bringing you some great news, great guests, and we need you. So if you're looking to be a guest or promote your business with us, go to foodforthesoulpresents@gmail.com or inbox us today.
Yes, ma'am. And it is Gumbo Mix 4th Thursday, and we have some very special guests in the building. Candace Fauché, is that how you pronounce it, or Fauché?
It's Fauché. I'm not French.
Candace Fauché is an American actress and music artist from Amityville, New York. She's been working on breaking into the entertainment industry, but that all changed after her breakout role in the movie Deadly Bonds by Bobby and Renee Peoples. For her second leading role in Girl Code, she also has a feature. She was featured on the soundtrack with her song Time, produced by, is it D. Drolic? I'm mispronouncing all kind of stuff today. I'm so sorry about that. So we have an actress / musician in the building. And then also we have Tiffany B., a spirited business owner and talented author. She is also a passionate advocate for creativity and self-expression. So ladies, what did I leave out? Tell me something that I did not tell our audience. I'm gonna start with you, Candace, and then we're gonna go to you, Tiffany.
What didn't you tell them?
Yeah. What do you want them to know?
The new movie?
Yes. So
Okay.
I just finished filming a new movie with Bobby and Renee Peoples.
Okay.
They are the dream team, especially for someone who's local like me, and not a lot of people have it together like they do. So they are really awesome. And that movie's called Vegas Vixen. Okay. And I played a detective.
And I was one of her police officers.
One of my officers.
And I was a kidnap victim. All three of us are actually in that movie.
Oh, wow.
Oh my goodness. I feel like I was there that day. Weren't
That's
you chained up
dope.
to the
On the
bike
last
rack?
day, exactly.
Yeah.
That's dope.
That's awesome. I love it.
That is dope.
Yeah.
What about you, Tiffany? You got something that you want them to know that maybe I didn't say?
No, really. I think you covered
No?
everything. Yeah, and
But
I
you're
was going to
a
mention.
esthetician.
I was going to mention the movie, and then you mentioned,
it.
and then I just said all three of us are in it. So
That's
yeah.
awesome. I love that.
Okay, and Kay said to talk about your esthetician business. So you
I
have
saw you on the cover of a
Yeah.
magazine.
Yeah.
Oh, so
Snap.
I'm on the cover of My Vegas for the top 2024 Top Women in Influence. And I do own a holistic medical spa here in Vegas, and I'm just more about graceful aging. I'm not really into the Botox and fillers because if we're blessed enough, we're all going to get older, you know?
Right.
So I'm just more about graceful aging, taking care of yourself from the inside out.
You see how humble she is?
I was about to say, and you didn't want to say that
She
you were
was
on
not
the
gonna-
on
she
the
was on
cover
the
of the
cover.
On the cover,
Okay,
cover
then.
girl.
the cover of a magazine.
Uh-huh.
And she said,
You better talk about it. Shout
Oh, I'm
yourself-
watching you.
Yeah, shout yourself out.
And I'm going to be in the house like,
Okay. And we got Kay with the G back with us, and we are continuing our discussion on art imitating life, not art versus art imitating life or life imitating art, and the healing power of movies and TV. So my shout out to my guest on the first Thursday, Chaplain Dow, and she's also a filmmaker and actress. And so she came on and talked to us a little bit about what she feels like if we are in a space of art imitating more life or life imitating more art. And so I want to get into it. So in discussing the topic, it seems like it is starting to feel like art is actually representing more life or imitating life. Like a lot of the shows we see, we're seeing them because something is going on behind the scenes that they haven't been telling us. Like a lot of stuff that I've been finding out personally post the pandemic, I feel like we were so in the dark for so many years. And so now movies are coming out, TV shows are coming out that are talking about different things that some of us had no idea about, or some of us thought was just fairy tale or make believe. And now it's real. They showing us the real. So I wanted to know what you guys thought about that. What do you think about that? Do you think that I'm crazy, or do you really think that that's what's going on?
Talitha, I think you're on to something.
Okay.
Yeah, I really do. You see so many things on TV these days. Once upon a time, you would see something and you'd be like, oh, no, that would never happen.
Yeah.
Today, you see it and it's like, oh, that happened in my neighborhood, you know?
It's
For
crazy.
instance, people breaking in your house at 7 o'clock in the morning and want to fight you, or that happened right here in Las Vegas.
Wow.
A guy, 5 o'clock this morning, breaking in someone's house. Homeowner didn't know who he was. He wouldn't move, so he started shooting at him. And the guy goes to the hospital and he dies, and he doesn't know who the guy is. He's crazed. That's something that you see on a movie.
It is.
And that's happening every day. And we could just go on and on talking about how life is really imitating art. Or is any of this real? Or is this really art? And we're putting it into film so that we can give life.
Right. It's
Twisted.
yeah, it's twisted and different. What about you, Candace? What do you think?
I mean, I feel like that's always been though. You know, like TV and movies have always been like, oh my God, that's crazy. But those things are really happening. Or it'll be like a director or actor or whatever. They have like a secret. And instead of telling their secret, they're going to play this character. And that's how they'll, you know, ease their conscience. So we don't know that that's really real until it's broken that that's really real. So it's just, I feel like that's always been though. Like TV lies to you. That's what it's for. It's to distract you and lie to you and just be a whole make-believe world. But it really is like all those things.
That doesn't make any sense. That's confusing. Tiffany, what about you?
I do find that to be true. I'll call it more predictive programming.
Okay.
So kind of like, and I don't want to get too deep into predictive programming, but predictive programming is like, say for instance, let's just say Aliens, right? So they put the movie Alien out, and that kind of plants the seed in your head that these things are real, these things exist. So when there's a UFO sighting, or if we happen to one day see extraterrestrials, it's kind of like, oh wow, an extraterrestrial, but it's not like panic because that
we're not
seed's
shocked.
been planted
Right.
because you've seen it. Yeah.
You know what I'm looking forward to? You remember that movie Chris Tucker was in where he was the singer?
Fifth Element. Fifth Element with Bruce Willis.
They're getting us ready for that day, that age, and they're doing it through the movie so that we're comfortable and we know how to go through the
I don't think you'll
customs
ever
with
be
the TSA.
comfortable. You'll never, even if you saw something every day and they said it's coming, you're like, okay, until it's really happening. And then it's like, you don't know how to feel about that. You're never going to just be, oh, it's aliens. We knew they were coming.
So they'll acclimate you because now we're in 5G, and so everyone has went up a notch, whether we know it or not. Our vibration has gone up a notch, so that's making us more
Susceptible.
more deceptible, but more aware of everything that's around us and more expectant of things. See, if an alien was to walk in here right now, I'd ask him for something. Oh,
And I wouldn't.
No.
I'd be like, okay,
I seen when Mars attacks. I'm all
I would
set.
be too busy. I would be too busy taking cover.
No,
but
I might ask him, where's Will Smith?
I was gonna say,
Where
too. I think Tiffany has a point to the fact that, remember before the pandemic, they had several movies that came out about that actual event.
Yeah.
They did.
But we didn't. But
They
what's
did.
great, what's
Yes.
crazy is some of us did not see them. So then the pandemic comes, and then we find the movie Contagion or whatever that was out
Contagion.
in
Outbreak.
2017
Outbreak.
and different things like that we didn't see, but they were sure talking about
Right.
that particular incident. Like how?
And
There
in
was a show,
Contagion,
How were they?
Contagion, they even had a scene where everyone was in the basement and no one could cough, and the lady said, and everybody turned
Freaked
around.
out.
Everyone freaked out. That was COVID.
Yeah. There was a show called Last Man on Earth. And
Yes.
it was like he thought he was all alone, but then he starts finding people. But it was like some crazy thing had happened, like big sickness, and wiped out everybody. So that was like 2 or 3 years before it happened. So
They were showing us.
But it planted those seeds.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what.
So when
don't
COVID
pay
came
TV that
and
much
the
mind.
lockdown came, there was no mass panic because we were mentally, like you said, acclimated. We were already acclimated to things like
there
that
was wild
happening.
mass panic. You couldn't get toilet paper for miles.
Toilet paper, that's a whole nother.
But that's that mass panic because people don't know what to do. So
Yes.
I got to be able to shit. So I got
Yeah.
to take my toilet
Right,
paper right,
right.
now. I'm getting every roll I could get, and that's crazy. But that's that mass hysteria because it wasn't just one place. It was all over the place. People were doing this.
I literally had to get my mom to ship me a box of toilet paper
Right.
from North Carolina because I was tired of driving around Vegas.
Trying to find it. That's crazy.
It was bad.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It wasn't as bad as it could have been.
Because I would think that because of COVID and the idea that you could lose your life and how sensitive it was and how sensitive and detrimental it was, that there would have been more people
Mass
acting
hysteria.
out and doing vigilante type
I think
things.
people were too afraid because we never had encountered anything like that before. So it was like, I'm not going to be the one to go outside and act crazy. And now the COVID got me. I can't get the COVID.
Absolutely.
So in alignment with our topic of life imitating art, imitating life, life imitating art, we all know what's going on in the media. It's a movie.
Yeah.
This is a movie. When you look at what's happened to some of the local celebrities, in particular, our Sean P. Diddy Combs
Brother Love.
and Brother Love, and the things for many years we idolized him. Everybody, bad boy for life, for an entire generation, he was their role model. Then to find out the things that are going on today, and you try to wrap your head around it. Could that really be happening? But it really is happening. And then you think of the proximity that he is to the Playboy Mansion. And there's a tunnel that leads from the Playboy Mansion under to his house. And then all of these bigwig people are resigning all of a sudden. If that is not a movie, That is a movie. First it started with Epstein, then it started with Weinstein, then it started with Epstein, and now it's a black guy, and it's happening.
They try to get Bill Cosby real bad.
They tried to, but P. Diddy, this is like a movie.
This is epic. This is on a whole nother level.
I mean, you could put, this is a movie.
Right.
This is just a movie
But that's
waiting
how he's
to
lived
happen.
his life, right?
And that is life imitating art.
Absolutely.
Or is that an
imitate
artist
both.
creating?
It could very much be both, because if you've seen, just looking at his life, he lives very lavish. Everything is so grand and big. It's a big production every time with him. So this couldn't be anything less.
Yeah.
It couldn't just stop at Cassie. It had to be way more than that, because how he lives his life.
It's a movie. And there's going to be a movie.
Oh,
It's more than a documentary.
50 Cent probably going to make a movie.
Then with the Kim Porter thing,
yeah.
and how that's playing into
that's
it,
coming back
and how
out.
they have each different scenes and chapters. It's a series.
Do people at that level, like the level of him, art imitating life or life imitating art, are they just every day living? And I'm not saying that lifestyle is art, but are they just every day like living a movie? Like
Sitting
art
around
and just,
creating
Yeah.
scenes.
Exactly.
Creating scenes.
When you have that kind of money and that kind of power, anything you want is right at your fingertips at all times. He had a whole grown man following him around with an umbrella for I don't know how long. Farnsworth Bentley.
We
That's
can't find him. I don't know where he is.
Well, he married that lady from White Chicks, and they got a couple kids, but they live like quiet.
No.
And probably.
Wait. So a few months back when Cassie's lawsuit and then a few followed, and then he had a series of shady like stories on Instagram, and one of them, if you guys remember, Jay-Z said a quote when he was introducing Beyonce at some awards, I tell the truth when I get nervous or something. So that was Farnsworth's story. He popped up and said that when the lawsuit started dropping at first, and then poof, back vanished. So I say he got cut a check when he said that little statement. I tell the truth when I get nervous.
Yeah,
and then he just went away.
because for so long. So I had met Orlando Brown, and when I met him and we hung out, he was like super cool and not
Nothing
half
like-
as
nothing
crazy
like what we're
as
seeing.
people
Okay.
see. And so for me, it was just like looking at him like, people make you look crazy because they don't want to believe that that's the truth. Like, oh, that never happened. That could never happen. You're lying, or you just want fame or whatever. You're clout chasing. But he's telling you real stuff that really happened, and he's saying it in a funny way. So it's not to blow back on him so bad, because if they can make you look crazy, then it's not credible.
Yeah, then you
Absolutely.
dismiss it. If anybody dismiss you once somebody say, oh, you're crazy.
Yep. Kanye crazy. So now nobody believes anything he has
But
to
Kanye
say.
is not crazy.
But he's not. Now
At
you're seeing
all.
all the people that were crazy, not so crazy.
Yeah, that part. Well, I wonder, should there be a line between fact and fiction so we or our kids don't get confused about what's real and what's not, or what's allowed or what's not? That's kind of my problem with a lot of movies. Even though you're doing it for entertainment effect or something like that or whatever, your kids are watching this, and now we've crossed the line and blurred them so bad that our kids don't know what's real, what's not real, what they can do, what they can't do. And I think that we saw that with the very first shooting at Columbine, which was the very, very first shooting that we recall. That, oh my God, these kids shot up the school. So now you have movies about it, different things like that. Even though I feel like they're trying to maybe tell people stories,
They're
it's
monopolizing off of.
It's giving kids the notion to be like, so people bully me, and now I can shoot up a school. I saw it in a movie. I saw it on a TV show. I saw it on a video game.
I think that has a lot more to do with parenting, because for me, you could watch a movie all day and night, and my parents tell me, this is not real. This is TV. This is not real life.
Right.
So you got to know right from wrong, and teach your kids right from wrong. And in the new age, not so many people are doing that.
Right.
They're just kind of letting their kids run free and not be able to tell the difference. And once that's already in place, you can't parent somebody else's kid into believing something that their parent allows them to believe.
Right.
So that's what makes that hard.
It's best to try to understand the truth for yourself.
Right.
But when you pull yourself in and you focus on what is reality and what is not, then you can oftentimes be perceived as strange or weird or isolating, or, the kids feel like they're being deprived because you want to safeguard them. For instance, okay, so they go to school and they learn about Columbus. They used to learn about Columbus, and then we learned that Columbus
Was a thief
a thief
and a rapist.
And what the things that he did. But now they're saying Columbus was black.
Well, that's really crazy.
No, they're saying, so the first Columbus was European,
right?
Came over on the Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria. But how many of our kids know about the Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria today? And then they start introducing these facts that he was a rapist and he did these things to all these indigenous people. Now they're they've done research, and things are surfacing that he was actually of a mixed race. He was black.
I don't know, because where we're getting our information is always tainted from the top.
And that's what my question is, like, what's real or not what's real? How are we to know what's real and what's not real when they are just feeding misinformation?
Yeah, and
because
printing books
internet.
with misinformation.
Parents, I'm getting ready to say, I feel like it's important to have like objective conversations with your children. So, you can watch this movie, and then after the movie, have a conversation with your children. How did you feel about this? How did you, and this is entertainment only, and like, we don't do this kind of stuff in real life. Education starts at home, and I just think that that's super important, so that your children do know the difference between. And then another like huge issue, why that's super important to have these objective. I'm a parent, but my kids are older. They're 19 and 20, so I don't really have those particular issues with them now. But the desensitization of a people, we're all desensitized now because we're seeing so much of these things and access. So those conversations, I just feel like, are super important to have with your children. How do you feel about this? And this is not real.
Right. Yeah, and that not real is what is so scary, because not only children, but there are some adults who are escaping into virtual worlds in order to
that's a mental health thing. Like, not everybody's mental health is up to code.
And
they're in denial about that.
But they're escaping into virtual worlds in order to create a reality. And there are people who actually live in this virtual world, and that is supposed to be entertainment. That's art.
But it goes back to mental health. So I'm an advocate for mental health. I walk every year and raise money for the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. I'm real big for my own personal struggles. And I'm from a small town where I know 3 people that we've sat in class together and they committed suicide, black males, right? Young black males. So when it comes to mental health, it's kind of like, not only do we need to like check in with each other and things like that, but
You lost her thought.
I did.
She said she lost her thought.
It happens.
Yeah.
And so we'll come back to you when you pick that up. But I can
see where she's
honestly
going.
say I hear you, and I have maybe 2 people that I know. I didn't know them well, but 2 males that committed suicide. One of them was a good friend of my brother's, and it was like right after high school he committed suicide. We still never found out kind of what was going on with him. And then another, I have she's like a play cousin to me, but her husband, she had just gotten married, and maybe about a year into their marriage, her husband committed suicide.
Wow, that's horrible.
No trying to figure out what happened or what happened. Did you figure?
I'm like, I got my thought.
Okay, cool. So I was trying to get you ready. Okay,
Talitha, thank
Come
you.
back to me.
So it's coping when it comes to mental health. A lot of people are not equipped with the coping skills. Reality is hard. It's like I tell my kids, it's hard enough being human. I don't want it to be hard for you to be my child.
Right.
So like we can have conversations and things like that. And people, they just lack the coping skills. So it's easier to, reality is difficult. It's easy to escape from reality into this virtual world where you can be whoever or whatever you want to be.
That's why people get addicted to stuff, because they don't know how to cope. So now I'm going to use this drug because I don't have to deal. I'm gone. I'm drunk. I'm gone. I don't have to deal. And that creates its own problems. And destroys your mental health even more. So
Talitha, who?
it's all bad.
I'm saying I think that, like Tiffany said, the conversations have to be had. I think that the parenting, like Candace said, has to be done to where we're really kind of not allowing our kids to watch some of this filth that's coming out, because we're planting seeds in their mind by letting them watch it. Or if they are watching something that maybe a parent is like, hey, you sit down and watch this with me.
And
then let's talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk
Yeah.
about it afterwards and kind of see how you're feeling and what you took from that movie.
Right. And because we oftentimes as African Americans, we feel that we can be exposed to things and they don't affect us
Yes.
because of the trauma that we've already experienced.
And-
So we don't go and we don't talk about those things that are actually causing us
Grief. Underneath.
exactly, and the trauma that it causes in our lives, and we don't talk about that,
Right.
because number one, mental illness in the past, I want to say in the African American community wasn't a big deal, but now more and more people are addressing it and bringing it to the forefront.
But it's still not
It's not
like,
accepted. Ain't
as
nothing wrong with her.
much.
She just crazy.
It's
Yeah.
more like, go to church and pray to
Right.
Jesus. And people have things they need to go and talk about.
Right.
They need to go
Yes.
unpack these things.
Right.
And,
I agree. I want to talk about why TV and why movies, because when I was doing the show, I wanted to find out what was the initial purpose for even having TV. Like, why did it come out?
I thought it came out
Why did
during the
movies
Great
come out?
Depression or something like that, to help people in not being so depressed around those times.
And I would think so too, but I got two different answers, you guys. For TV, they said that just like the interweb, the TV has always served one primary purpose, which is to indoctrinate the masses and control the narratives. That's why it was invented. And then during the 1950s, television was the primary medium for influencing public opinion, which is the same thing. And then they said for movies, originally movies were a movie record of life for people so that they could experience events they would never have had a chance to see.
Living vicariously through
And
the
then,
movie.
and then since the inception of filmmaking, it says the primary purpose has been to entertain people and provide them with leisure, giving them the opportunity to imagine themselves as characters in other worlds, which is kind of similar to the same thing. So my question is, do we still believe, I'm thinking that we do from the conversation previous, that TV and movies are doing that, what they said that they were intended to do, or are they different now?
Oh no, that's still the same. I mean, don't you remember the subliminals that they used to show
Yes.
before a movie would come on and flash it real quick? Buy Coca-Cola,
Buy
get
candy,
this, get this,
candy bar,
and,
yeah.
and
Super
you
Bowl.
you don't know that that's happening to you, but your mind is a portal. It's open, and you're allowing these things to enter
And they're doing
into
it
your
more,
mind.
and it's more intense, and it's a higher, because we're at a higher frequency. The subliminal messages are at higher frequencies, so they're more intense. Like, you could see a Snickers commercial at 3:00, and all day long that Snickers is in your mind, or you could hear it.
Yeah,
You know,
you feel it.
You feel it. Like, oh, I
you
got
might
to get
not even
it.
be thinking about it at that time, but later down the road, you in the gas station. Oh, let me get this Snickers.
Now with the
hear
movies,
somebody say it.
Oh yeah, like, oh,
the
yeah,
movies.
So then my question is, I've been seeing a lot of debate on Facebook then about that movie Deliverance. So I
watched that.
follow a lot of Christian podcasters, and a lot of them were like, please, Christians,
watch it.
Don't watch this movie. And then others were saying, no, we need to watch this movie because it shows us
How to
the
prepare.
process of demonic influence and what it looks like. Because a lot of us, I know for me, like I was telling Bobby before, my dad was a pastor, but he never spoke on the spiritual realm. So I didn't know anything about real life spirits and ghosts and different. I always thought that was fake. He never talked about that. And so this movie, people are like, no, don't watch it because you're going to open up a portal and you're going to let demons in. So what do y'all think about that?
I don't believe that because
okay.
I don't believe that only because life is full of demons.
Okay.
And there's demons in the church, you know.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
just being around that energy in those spaces, that's portals. You are a portal of yourself. Watching something, looking at somebody. So if that be the case, don't watch this because it's a portal. Everything is.
But
so
you
couldn't
are
encounter
only,
anything.
You're only susceptible to what you allow yourself to be influenced by. Because if you in the Bible, it talks about keeping yourself shod. You have to be aware of the devil because he's
Sneaky.
moving around like a roaring
But
lion.
demons don't look like they do in the movies.
No, they
don't
don't.
speak like they
They
do. They
don't.
look like you
which
and
is,
I.
Which is also why you need to be on guard.
Right.
at
Keep
all
yourself
times.
shod.
Yeah.
Your coat of
Because
armor
he's
on.
like a lion looking for whom
You
he
seen
may
Devil's
devour.
Advocate?
Yes, that's one of my
Yes.
favorite movies.
That is such a good movie. And that right
he
there
really did
explains it for
And I
people.
don't
He'll be
care.
anybody you want him to be. He
I
can look
don't
like
care.
whatever he wants to look
And
like.
it's a feeling. If
Yeah.
you're in tune with yourself, and it's like, I know you've heard people say, you better stand for something or you'll fall for anything.
Right.
You can tell when you're in the presence of people that are not spiritually yoked,
Like the gift of discernment.
or on the same spiritual plane that you are, because you can be in a room with people and y'all can be talking and everybody's laughing and everybody's joking, and even you and this person, but that entity, you'll feel that entity.
Not if they
looking-
don't want
I
you to.
don't think.
Not if they don't want you
Yeah,
to.
I don't think that everybody
because then
feels
they
it,
wouldn't be
though.
able
But
to
it's
feel,
a
they
si-
wouldn't be able to fool you if you could
But
feel
you
it.
have discernment.
Yes,
Everybody
if
doesn't
you
have
have the
discernment.
gift of
If you
discernment,
have
but not everybody does.
Everybody doesn't have
Not
discernment.
everybody does. That's how they're able to be fooled.
Right.
Like, I'm from Amityville, so
Amityville horror.
the horror.
That's
right?
what I thought.
So demons don't look like
Yeah.
crazy. They look like your brother, your sister, your son. He went in there. He killed his whole family. Do you think they saw him for dinner that day and said, you know what? He looks a little crazy. He's gonna kill us all.
But you
no.
can, I can, me personally, I can feel it.
Yeah.
I can feel it. I
That
can
means
feel
that you
it.
may
I can
have
feel
a
it.
gift.
I can
You may
tell
have
when
the gift
people
of discernment.
mean me no good.
Yes,
I can
yes,
tell that.
exactly.
But some people don't, and some people are open to inviting new people into their life for whatever reason, and that be their downfall because you don't have that gift, so you don't know that they mean you no good. Wolf in sheep's clothing is a big thing. It's a real thing.
Like Diddy.
yeah,
But I've been hearing a lot of
think-
people talk about certain movies because I remembered I read something or heard something on the podcast about the Avengers, and it was one Avenger movie that came out. I want to say it might have been Doctor Strange, but they were saying don't go see this movie because it's a spell type of movie.
oh yeah, it is a spell type of movie.
And then it was another movie that
The
they
Joker?
were like, don't watch this. It's a spell. So we don't think that even the movie Deliverance could have been a spell type of movie. That's why they were like, hey, don't watch this because you might be, if you're not.
I think if I won't even say if you're weak minded because
Yeah.
there's some people who are very strong minded and still can fall victim to those things. But if you cover yourself with your beliefs and you are secure in who you are,
Yeah.
there's nothing that you can see or watch and it's gonna change you. Now you're different. Now you have these things that are underlying. I don't believe that.
So,
So
since
does-
you've seen, I'm sorry, hold on, just one more question. Since you've seen the movie, is there any part in that movie that you think is the reason why people are saying, "Hey, don't watch this movie," without giving away the movie?
I grew up with a lot of different religions. Like my grandmother was Jehovah's Witness. My mother was Christian. You know, I've been to a bunch of different churches, and there a lot of church kids aren't allowed to watch or listen to any of that stuff because it's the devil.
Okay.
So for me, I wasn't banned that way. So I've been watching Nightmare on Elm Street since I was 3 years old. Those things don't affect you if you don't allow them to affect you. But if you're so afraid of something that you won't even see what it is, you'll always be afraid of that thing. And so if you see it, oh my God, now I'm under a spell.
'Cause I
like
won't-
you're
like
you're
Nightmare-
freaking your own
I
self
won't
out.
watch The
Nightmare on Elm
Exorcist.
Street is like imaginary type boogeyman.
Yeah,
right?
but he's the scariest. Okay, you can't go to sleep.
But when you get into are things like spells, or are they putting sigils or symbols
Anything
to
could be
Like
a spell.
Beyonce's concert.
You could be wearing an amulet.
that
That's
could be
a spell.
I get that, but like movies, so television programming and movies, right? Your mind's being programmed. So the difference between like an imaginary boogeyman, somebody like Freddy Krueger, the average person that's beyond a child that watches it is automatically casting this out as BS. This
Yeah.
is imaginary. This cannot happen,
Yeah.
right?
I'm grown.
But is it-
Versus a movie like The Deliverance, which I did not watch it, but a movie like The Deliverance where exorcism,
Well, a
spells,
demon is a
possession.
demon.
These things are real. I
Yeah.
get it, but nobody's looking at.
But that's the
objectively,
thing.
we're not looking at.
Nobody's
Freddy
looking at Freddy Krueger as
a
an
demon.
adult and saying,
it's
you
like,
know, this is the thing.
He-
But
And
a
it was a
demon
true story.
is a
You
demon.
know, but
A
he's-
demon is a demon. A
Yeah.
demonic spirit, anything. Like you, those kids that I knew that couldn't watch any of those things. You couldn't even watch certain cartoons because of the suggestive material that's in them. So you could know this is BS, but it's the underlying tones of it
Yeah.
that make it a problem.
Yeah.
So he could be, you know, fake as fake can be, but he's still a demon.
Yeah.
And he comes into your dreams and he kills you in your sleep. And I know people, I've even suffered from when you're sleeping and you just feel like something's
Something's
on
holding you down.
Something's
Yeah.
on you. You can't get up. That's real stuff.
Yeah,
you know,
that is
so
real stuff.
whether you know it or not, believe it or not, or your mind is not geared that way, there are things that we have no idea about at
definitely,
all.
definitely.
And
Well, I
I kind of
watched
don't
it.
want to know.
I watched
it
I
too?
watched
Okay.
the whole movie, and me myself, I thought it was hilarious.
I watched that whole movie and I thought it was great acting.
I
I thought
thought
the
it was-
acting was superb.
especially when she said, "I can smell your nappy."
Oh yeah. I thought Glenn Close went a little crazy for that.
And I'm gonna tell you why I watched the movie.
Okay.
I didn't watch the movie for the exorcism and all that part. I watched the movie for the Glenn Close character because that's the first time you've ever seen that character put into a movie.
But that
We
character
all
wasn't
know-
even supposed to be in that movie.
Yeah, but we all know that character,
Okay.
that white lady that lives in the hood, that everybody know, that's
with the mixed kids,
with the mixed kids, and she cool, and
Yep.
she be at the barbecues, and she go to the black nail salon, and she be at the beauty shop, and you like, you know, she cool. I've never seen that character on film, and I wanted to see how he portrayed it, and with the wigs and the nails and the flirting and the way she dressed, and I was fascinated by how the cinema, the spectrum of characters is evolving. Not so much about the part about, you know, what was going on, because it was a true story, but I was looking at the disrespect. I was looking at how she was sick. I was looking at all those things and the characters in the movie, because it's funny.
Yeah.
If you look at it. I mean,
Her
the
role
only
wasn't
thing-
over stereotype, because you know how sometimes
Yeah.
they over stereotype it. And
I don't
it
know
wasn't.
if it's like stereotypes all come from somewhere.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
so I don't know if you could say that stereotype or it's just like that's how some people
No,
really
but like
are.
over. So I get all stereotypes definitely come from
Right.
somewhere, but when they do the stereotype and it's like almost to a parody, they've
So-
overdone
Well,
it
I
so
feel
much.
like I feel like it wasn't that.
No,
I
no,
feel-
with her, that's what I'm saying. It was
with
more
her,
true to
wasn't-
form
right,
with her,
Right,
yeah.
it was more like a real
Yeah,
person
yeah.
So-
who just lived that way.
Yeah.
So something that I wanted to talk about, I know you're talking about TV and movies and the messages and the spells and all those things that could happen, and the possession. The concert, the beehivers may come for me.
Beyonce.
Okay.
I have talked
Okay,
to
beehivers.
different people that came from different states. Some people from Texas, some people here, some people from California.
Because you're from Texas. I'm getting ready to say, I'm a beehiver. Not the kind of beehiver that
Did you go
buys,
to the concert?
Wait, listen. I just told my daughter this the other day. I'm not the kind of beehiver that buys tickets, okay? But Beyonce's been out since I was 13. I love Beyonce.
But do you know how many people said that they went to the concert and can't remember it?
Oh, it probably was spelled.
There
I heard that
are-
about her,
there
though, that
are
she
dozens
spells people.
of people that say
Energy,
they
guys,
remember
come
going
on.
to the concert. They recorded the concert. One of my coworkers said I can remember singing songs I had never heard before, but then I just don't remember anything. And when I looked at it on my phone, I was like, oh, okay. Now I remember. And he was telling me about one of his cousins went to the concert in California and kind of like blanked out, but then remembered it later, but then went to the concert in New York and didn't remember anything.
Wasn't she at that concert is when she unveiled her new fragrance? Wasn't she like spraying perfume?
I don't
Oh,
know.
I
Did
don't
any of
know.
you guys see Blink
I-
twice?
No, but I know
No,
that's
I
how
don't-
Channing Tatum,
I don't
right?
wanna watch
I want to
Blink.
see
I don't-
that.
I don't wanna see it.
But now see, don't come for me, Beehiver. Now, I liked Beyonce better when she was in Destiny's Child. as a solo artist, she's mediocre at best. I've seen it done before. Janet, Tina Turner, Whitney Houston, you know, all of that. So I'm not impressed.
Diana Ross.
Right, but I'm not impressed. But so, you know, for me, it's just like I do believe that in that world, once you get to a certain level, you are so afraid of not keeping that level that you might find you a bruja who know if you cut 3 chickens up and you then you gonna be on top for this amount of years.
You have to see. Me and my boyfriend just watched a movie yesterday called The Substance. Right?
Who's in it?
Substance.
Demi Moore.
Okay.
And
Substance.
Demi Moore plays aging. She's a famous workout instructor. Remember, like Jane Fonda back in the day doing the workouts and stuff.
How old is this movie? It's new.
Yeah, it just came out this year. So
The Substance.
Demi Moore is playing now, y'all. I don't know if it's in the movies because we got the Fire Stick, y'all. So
Okay. Yeah.
So she plays an aging workout instructor that's famous, and she has a show. But they kind of want to can her.
Right,
She's
'cause she
older. They're
old.
looking for somebody new.
Okay.
So she comes across this ad that's like, you get this substance, and you're a newer, you know,
Version of
younger
yourself.
version of yourself. And then it's like, but remember, you are one. And then it like, I don't want to give you guys the movie,
Okay.
but it's
I
like a
want the
whole,
movie.
it's a whole thing about how chasing youth is detrimental to
Right.
you overall. That's basically the basis of the movie, you know. And she completely ruined herself. The movie is absolutely insane, and it's a
I
little
gotta see it.
asinine, but you
I
Yeah.
gotta see it. But you know,
definitely.
what movie that reminds me of? Death Becomes Her.
Definitely. And you know what? In The Substance is kind of like, minus the best friend and the husband.
Right.
It's
It's
kind
kinda
of
like that.
school. Death becomes her.
Because at the end of the day, you want to be young and looking good and boobs still up here and everything so badly that you will do these things to yourself. Because look at Madonna looking like a big old jungle cat.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my God.
Cat or
Jungle
Jigsaw?
cat and that and got the ant booty.
Oh my God.
And it's Madonna. You didn't have to do that.
No, you
you
didn't.
could have just
You
aged
are
naturally.
Madonna.
You're
She's a
Madonna.
power top.
Madonna. Like,
She's a power top.
Oh, she's a power top.
That's nasty, Kay.
Like, I
God,
mean,
stop.
So, guys,
we had a Diddy party.
Cher's still looking good though. Cher is like 80-something years old. She still look like Cher.
If I
Yes.
could
I want to.
turn
Well, her boyfriend
back
like 27,
time,
so that's probably what's
if I
doing
could
that.
find a way.
Do it. Sing
Patty,
it.
Patty LaBelle is too.
Patty LaBelle still looking good. Okay, I love Patty.
This is my last question, you guys, because we gotta get out of here. We've been having some great conversation. I want to know about healing power. Are any of the shows or movies that you've seen, or maybe you guys participated in, do you think that they have the ability to heal, or should they have the ability to heal?
I haven't seen anything, and I'm just going to be honest. One movie in particular, Divorce in the Black.
Oh
You
yeah, I
guys see
seen
it,
that.
right? So I just feel like some of these movies, they don't, speaking of healing power, that movie had no closure for me. I don't know why they were getting divorced. I don't know why the husband
he
was
was crazy.
wigging out.
His family
But
was crazy.
I understand that, but where did that come from?
Yeah, it
Well,
didn't,
you know,
it didn't really explain it.
No.
not any explanation or no closure. Now, some movies, The Pursuit of Happiness, there's some healing in there because you can kind of like relate to the chase and the pursuit of reaching that goal, you know. But some movies are not well-rounded, and they just don't have that, you know, healing capacity.
I never
You
thought
end
of
up
that. I'm
a
gonna
little
start
more
looking for
crumbled.
that.
Like, Jesus Christ.
Well,
A little bit.
It's a cartoon movie, but Meet the Robinsons. It was
Okay.
a really good movie. Only because, you know, it's a little boy. He's an orphan. And he's trying to find a good family to go to, and nobody's picking him. And so he's just sad, but he's a scientist. You know, he's an inventor. And it's just about keep moving forward. You know, don't give up. Keep pressing on. And eventually what you're looking to come into your life will come into your life because you didn't give up. So a sense of hope and never giving up and perseverance and all that stuff like that. So, you know, I like that one.
The Color Purple.
I would like to say there's 2 shows that I feel like have healing power, which is This Is Us, and I don't know if you guys saw
I was
that.
on
I
that
saw,
show.
I saw that all the way to the end, when it went off the air. But I feel like showing the fact that when you are young, how that shapes everything you do in life. So with them, showing them as young children, showing them as teenagers, showing them as adults, this is why she has this problem, because this happened back when she was 10.
Right.
This is why he's this, because so I thought that it was a great reenactment, a great show of showing us that we need to pay more attention to some of the things that we've gone through in the past, because that might have
Long range
answers.
effects.
It might have answers for us though, and like, why am I this? Why am I? Oh, when I was this is what happened. So that really helped me to kind of put stuff into perspective. And then the show Evil. A lot of people, you know, it's strange that I saw a lot of stuff in Evil, but what I saw is that, like I told y'all, the first time showing what spiritual warfare looks like, even though the demons look real stupid and you kind of laugh at them on Evil because they look really made up, like they're really overdone. But I think the movie is showing you, like, I didn't know what a sigil was. I had no clue what a sigil was.
What is a sigil?
In any of those things,
I'm just joking.
you know, it's like for those who don't know, it's kind of like it's a symbol, and sometimes they will put it on anything. So we could be having
like it's on money.
a sigil necklace,
like
we could be having
Starbucks.
any of those things,
Yeah.
and we just don't know. And that sigil is sometimes used as
A portal.
A
a
vessel.
portal, or
Yeah.
a demonic type of presence, and we don't even know about it. So I do think that there are some shows that have a healing power or have a message that we should pay attention to. There's not a lot, but there are some. So like I said, I think we have to pick and choose what we're watching, what we're allowing our kids to watch. And no matter whether we're like very strong believers or not, there are some things that we just can't watch, period. And so I really wanted to watch Deliverance because I'm a Monique fan. So
that's why I wanted to watch it.
I like her transition into serious roles, but I'm just not sure the roles that she's picking.
Did you see the reading?
Are very, yes, and
I thought that was so good. She did
it scared
amazing.
me. Though. It scared me.
Oh, it was super
because Bobby
sad.
was like, I'm not watching that, and I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna watch it on my own. I'm strong, and I had dreams. It was bad. I was like, well, I said, why did you let me watch that movie? He's like, I told you.
But that movie was good. I watched the movie I don't like possession and all that stuff like that. I don't typically like scary stuff.
Yeah.
But if I'm going to watch it, it's probably because the actor or the actress,
and
I want to see their performance. I want to
Yes.
see how they did. And so that's why I watched it, because Audra Day was Billie Holiday in that movie, and she was so great. She
Yes.
was so great.
And so I think a lot of us, because I'm in the acting world as well as a writer director, so a lot of times we're just kind of trying to watch stuff just to see. Like I'm a fan of actors. I'm a fan of writers and directors. So I'm like, ooh, what kind of spin do they put on this? I love that, but at the end of the day, some of the stuff that's coming out now, I do feel like it's coming out. It's deceptive. And if we if we don't pay attention,
It's written by Chat GPT.
It's gonna grab us up, you guys.
Well, you see these new artists, like not even new, but artists who never in their life had anything like that going on. Now they're doing a satanic ritual type of performance on stage and everything. It's like, for what? Who is that for?
What are you doing?
Like, for real, like what's his name?
We talked about that. That's what sells. That's what sells right now.
But it shouldn't be because that term, the devil's music, was because it's rock and roll and they swiveling their hips, not because they're really up there dressed like demons.
Yeah, and that's what they turned it into, you guys. But I want to thank you guys so much for coming out. Do either of you, and even UK, do you have something coming up? And then tell the folks where they can follow you. So I'll start with you, Tiffany.
You can follow me on Instagram at tiff_eccentric. And what's coming up for me? Happy times.
Right.
You're going to be in that movie too.
I am. I'm in the Vegas Vixen movie. We actually have a premiere.
Yes, it's January 24th.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
we have the movie premiere coming up for that.
Okay.
And some more. I have some roles some old things. I'm in a show on Amazon Prime, The Grime, that came out a few years ago. And we're going to pick that back up,
Nice.
and continue with the following episodes. And then just working on my skincare stuff. I do have a cookbook coming out.
Snap.
Yeah.
What kind of cooking? Like vegan?
So it's a cookbook,
Please
but it's
don't
more, I want to call it a food book. It's a food book. So it's more about like, this food is good for this.
Oh,
this
okay.
Food is good for that. And,
Right, this is good for your skin,
not
this is good for your
specifically
hair.
A cookbook, yeah.
Or
And then you
digestion.
put it together. It'll be
Yeah.
a few recipes in there, but yeah.
Oh, okay. That's like more of a medicine type book.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Nice.
I love it. Candace, what about you?
So I had just blinked, like completely left my mind. But The Private Secretary is my third film with Bobby and Renee, and that came out on August 6th. So if you have not seen it, please go watch. And then we also filmed Mistress for Hire, and that should be coming out soon.
Okay.
And the premiere for Vegas Vixen is January 24th. So we will be putting out that link so everybody can get their tickets and come see us.
On the red
And you can
carpet.
follow me on Instagram at Dizzle the Dime, which is DIZZLEDADYME. And on Facebook, Candace Satia Foshi.
Man,
so check me out and
you got
stuff.
locked. We are. I saw you first on Daily Bonds.
Yeah.
So I would say that you did a really, really good job.
Oh, thank you
You
so
did a
much.
really, really good job. So as we close the show out, please keep in mind we are looking for positive artists who would like to have a live feature performance to end the show every first and fourth Thursday. We just need some music with some substance and positivity. And if you're interested, you can email us at foodforthesoulpresents@gmail.com for more information, and you could be our next guest.
And now here is our spotlight artist of the evening, Mr. Stinky. We had to get him back in the house. Mr. Stinky is a seasoned musician and CEO of Mr. Stinky's Enterprises. Which is the fastest growing rolling papers company in the U.S. with over 15 years of experience in the music industry. Mr. Stinky excels in distinct genres, dance hall reggae, and reality rap. He's graced the stage with renowned artists such as Tech Nine, Nipsey Hussle, I-Octane, Fabulous, Jim Jones, Mosey, Conway, The Machine, Jules Santana, and many more, including The Game and our late, great Mac Dre. So originally, he's hailing from Kansas City, Missouri. He now calls Las Vegas, Nevada home. His music is available on all platforms under the name Mr. Stinky. So ladies, we are all here, and he's going to give us what the girls desire. Mr. Stinky with Girls Desire. Hey!
You are now listening to
Steampunk. Ow!
Them didn't see me from me walking. I organize them and make one heap of talking.
You are now listening to
Steampunk.
Magic. Them didn't see me from me walking. I organize them and make one heap of talking. Girl, I come in for look how them stalking. Them see me choppy with the money and a oxen. Pretty catty figure ask me take a shopping. Have everything where pretty girl them desire. Fashion, in the latest designer. Me a local wife, could you tell me how fi find her? Honesty and trust, cause we not deal with the liar. Put on your favorite slow song. Come in the room and I tell me what I want. She a bitch as look as she not understand pattern. Really need to know how me can stand. Vanilla me give me the rum, she give me the slam. And I long to the man they come. She about with the man Japan. I rum I can beat it like a drum. Sippy tippy from the rum, she ready to be fishy. The bone and the gushy and the soft like a plum. Mr. Stinky that place right now, yo. Tell them my you. Las Vegas, big up on the status. People, you couldn't see me but me walking. I organize them and make one heap of talking. Girl, I come in for look how them stalking. Them see the choppy with the money and a oxen. Pretty catty figure ask me take a shopping. Have everything where pretty girl them desire. Fashion, in the latest designer. Me a local wife, could you tell me how fi find her? Honesty and trust, cause we no deal with the liar. Make me see the light if you understand. Broke out, 2 hour session like with the end of the broke out. Step out in the Louis V, the 2 hour we. Make the world see. Pass me the Hennessy and the grabber weed. DJ in a real life, Dan Dapper with the red stripe. Who no one plastic, it dead up on the mic. Can't bother tell me, say me no know what the girl them like. Mr. Landing on your face, respect me pon the mic. The word not stop spending when the demagogue reach. What I come out of them seats, get them in me vice as but you me stay, the girl them say they might be better wave. Till the man ain't coming, they walking like a slave. Walking, I organize me, I make one heap of talking. Girl, Girl, I come in for look how them stalkish. Them see me choppy with the money on a oxy. Pretty catty figure ask me take a shopping. Have everything where pretty girl them desire. Fashion, in a the latest designer. Me a local wife, could you tell me how to find her? Honesty and trust, can we not deal with the liar? Put on your favorite slow song. Come in the room and I tell me what I want. She have pictures, look as she not understand pattern. Really need me no help me can stand. Panel and she give me the ram, she give me the slam. And I land to the man and come. She about with the man Javan. A ram I can beat it like a sippy tipsy from the rum. She ready tippy fish she come. Before now these go she and the soft like a plum. Stinky at the place right now. All over the world, pretty girl them desire. In a real life, what we are doing, paper. You couldn't see me from me walking. I pack a nice meal, I make one leap attacking. Girl, I come and go look how them stalkish. Them see me choppy with the money on the oxy. Pretty catty figure ask me take a shopping. Have everything where pretty girl them desire. Fashion name, and a the latest designer. Me the local wife, could you tell me how to find her? Honesty and trust, how we no deal with the liar. Yeah, stay in at the place right now. Big up on the start time, yeah.
Oh. Girls Desire by Mr. Stinky. So you guys, we had to have him back on the show, and I am so glad we did. That was a really, really cool moving song. I've never been a fan of dance hall, and I really dug that song, Mr. Stinky. So you made me a believer. Make sure you guys follow us on all of our social media platforms. I am Talitha _Cumi, Food for the Soul Media Group, Orlay _worldwide, and The Real Big Bobby B, and at K2 Unique.
And our show tonight has been sponsored in part by the Orlay Collective, Big Bobby B Beats, KG Development, Candace Foshi, Tiffany B, and Mr. Stinky Music. And we will see you soon.
Peace.